Hi, I'm Samantha Gassman from Military Spouse Magazine, and today I'm joined by Erin Freel, an Air Force veteran, military spouse, nonprofit leader, mom, and current Notre Dame graduate student. Welcome, Erin. Thanks for coming.
And thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So, you've had an incredible career up until this point. Your accomplishments are numerous. Can you start by sharing a little bit about yourself and your military background, your family, and what brought you to Notre Dame?
Absolutely. I graduated from the Air Force Academy and I served as an active duty intelligence officer and targeteer during Operation Southern Watch, Iraqi Freedom, and Enduring Freedom. That was quite the adventure, but I left the service to raise my children in 2005, and we had a fantastic time following my husband around mostly Asia Pacific. And during that time, I ended up serving on a lot of nonprofit boards and volunteering for things like Military Spouses Club, Military Spouse Advocacy Network, and more. And then when we moved to South Bend for my husband to take command of the Detachment 225 of the Notre Dame ROTC, I decided that now is my time
Yes.
to go ahead and pursue a degree in a field I was already working in. And so I am there in the Graduate School of Nonprofit Management and also working at St. Joseph High School in Mission Advancement.
That's amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about a couple of the organizations that you worked in previously and what inspired you to pursue this master's degree?
Absolutely. Well, the military spouses are incredible people. They really are. They have a tremendous amount to contribute to the world, and we're more likely to be underemployed and unemployed, and we're also more likely to be an educated population.
Mhm.
And so I have tried these entire past 21 years to support people like me who needed an outlet outside of the home in order to exercise their brain outside of homemaking. And that means that we have a amazingly talented group of people running things like military spouse clubs.
Mhm.
And that's been a real adventure to raise scholarship money. I've been part of clubs that have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars and given
Oh,
it all away to our community. I also did some things in the civilian communities where I was located. I helped a nonprofit called the Alaskan Music Archive stand up. I worked here locally in the Potawatomi conservatories, trying to get them all stood up. So we have a new nonprofit now running the Potawatomi conservatories. Really, wherever I've been, I've tried to help out and lend whatever expertise I have. And what that then translates to is formalizing that knowledge.
mhm.
And Mendoza Business School at Notre Dame has a really wonderful program for nonprofit administration. In fact, it was their first degree they ever had. Father Hesburgh, who is a legend at Notre Dame, said, I can't continue to send priests and nuns and other leaders out without knowing actually how to run a school or a parish. And that is where the business school got started.
That's an amazing heritage to be part of there at that school. And so we've talked before about Notre Dame being a super military friendly school. What has been your experience in that regard?
Notre Dame prides itself on supporting its military, and wow, does it. It's really incredible. You know, Notre Dame will reference again and again whenever you talk to the provost, so any of the vice presidents, the OMVA, any of the school. Anybody who is involved with Notre Dame will always reference back to the fact that the Navy saved Notre Dame.
Hmm.
World War II. And when World War II threatened and their student population dropped because so many young men signed up, the
Hmm.
Navy came in and said, we will put our officer training school for the Great Lakes here at Notre Dame. And Notre Dame survived as a
Yeah.
result. So they hearken back every time to that heritage. They made a promise, we will always play Navy, we will always support our military to the max extent possible, and it shows in everything they do. The OMVA office, Office of Military and Veteran Affairs, is incredibly supportive. They have a lot of reach. They go for, even kids to military dependents, make sure that they are getting the support they need anytime, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I don't know if they have, some sort of CIA mind control or whatever, but I get a touch point from military and veteran affairs. Anytime I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, I get a, hey, how are you doing? Things going okay? Well, how can we help you?
Right.
And my husband, when he walks around the campus in military uniform, has to plan extra time into his day to get from place to place because he will be thanked for his service every 5 seconds, which is a really lovely way to spend his time.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like it's been an incredible student experience so far. So you're getting ready to graduate here in a couple of years,
Mhm.
and I know that you're going to do amazing things out there with your degree, but what kind of impact do you hope to have in the nonprofit world or beyond?
Well, I would really like to marry together my military experience along with my nonprofit experience. Ideally, I could go on to do a PhD in global affairs and put those two things together. I'd also love to do something in supporting the military spouse space. Notre Dame is currently working on a project in order to do some military spouse mental health and resilience work.
Hmm.
And I think that that's a really interesting and awesome opportunity that's being put together because they would like to put their money where their mouth is as far as military support. They are looking after our population and working really diligently to make sure that they have training materials and things like that to support military spouses because we're a unique population
Yes.
and that means unique solutions, right? So that's where I would like to go, where I can put those two things together and make sure that I can talk to the civilian community and be a translator for the military experience.
hmm Well, if there's anyone who's going to be anyone who can do that, it's you, Erin. You're extremely capable in all of those things.
Oh, thank you.
Um, and so, if you were chatting with another military spouse or a group of military spouses who are also trying to balance family life with work and maybe a decision to return to school, what would you suggest that they do or consider?
I will preface this by saying I have 4 partial master's degrees. Now, that can sound like silliness, right? Each part of my life has been about a different interest area has cropped up multiple times. I have a child with a disability. Okay, well, let me look in the nutrition and medical space. Okay, now I have, you know, uh, an interest in homeschooling my children and making sure that we can formalize education for homeschooled people and get that quality. Let me get a master's degree in education. Each time, each one of those degrees has been interrupted by military service. I've moved, we've gotten sudden orders, husband's career goes shoo, over here. And that can be really discouraging as a military spouse. But no education is wasted. And so you learn from those experiences, not only in the education part, but also it's very, very clarifying for life purpose. I don't think any of that time is wasted. It really helps you decide who do I want to be when I grow up? And the
Mhm.
military is no longer a factor in my life,
Right.
dictating in my every move.
Yes, we
And
know a
so,
thing or two about that.
right, I really, really encourage military spouses to seize every educational opportunity they can so that they come out on the other side just that much stronger and using that unique voice. You have a voice that has been crafted and molded by the experiences that you've had that are singular. A lot of people, less than 1% of the United States is going to have your experience.
hmm
That's valuable, and you can take that on to employers along with any education you pick up along the way and make it your own.
I love that. Any other parting words for our Military Spouse Magazine watchers and readers?
Oh gosh, I just would say it's been a fantastic adventure.
hmm
And military careers, you get out of them what you put into it. Always try to bloom where you're planted. Always try to seize any opportunity you can. And on the other end, you will be able to look back and say, oh, wow, I did that thing. And that's an amazing experience to share with other people.
I love that. Thank you so much, Erin. I appreciate you joining us today.
And thank you so much, Samantha. I appreciate you.
Take care.